In the last episode, suddenly the power of Long Hao-Chen was activated, which disappeared after the snake demon and his demon pillar destroy. After this, in the next scene, we are told that there is such a planet in the universe, which was left behind by the rest of the world at one point. So there is such a paradise for all living creatures, where there are creatures in the number of billions. But then suddenly one day the dragon lizard was destroyed, and that's why a very big storm came there. But then we find out that that storm was not an ordinary storm. That's why a lot of stars tried to stop it, due to which there was a very big vibration in space-time, and then it disappeared with the storm. But in reality, no one knows anything about it. And before disappearing from here, there was only one icon, which spread all over the universe. But then, we hear someone's voice, who is saying that I will definitely come back to this world. After this, in the next scene, we see the Demon Emperor, who is looking very upset at this time. At the same time, we see that the Moon Demon God also comes here and asks the Demon Emperor that something very big has happened here. But we see that the Demon Emperor does not give any answer to this. Now, at this time, the Moon Demon God says that I have felt a very powerful aura, which is spread all over the demon clan. And that's why we see that the Moon Demon God is very upset about this. Then he says to the Demon Emperor that this aura is very powerful, because in reality it scared me a little. But we see that the Demon Emperor does not say anything about it, and he only says to the Moon Demon God that you come to my third brother, and today I will introduce you to him. After which we see that the Moon Demon God was also ready for this. And then the Demon God asks the Emperor that has Basak come out, but even after this, we see that the Demon Emperor does not say anything about it, and he goes straight to meet Basak. After which we see that the place where they were going to meet Basak, that place looked really dangerous. But then, we see that the Moon Demon God starts feeling some aura here, but still it does not have any effect on the Demon Emperor, and still he was going forward. But we see that the Moon Demon God is still upset, because he also does not understand what is happening here suddenly. With this, we see that they both walk and come in front of a gate, where the gate opens on its own, and with this, they both start going forward. After which we find out that Basak is actually the same, which says that if you both have come here, then it means that the Snake Demon place has really been destroyed. But still we see that the Demon Emperor was still not saying anything about it, and he goes to see all the demon players here. Then we see that the Snake Demon pillar really disappears from here, with which we see that the Moon Demon God was even more upset about this, and he says that this is really true. So while being upset, she says that, how can this happen? Because it is completely impossible to happen. Then he says that now even the God-killing formation will not be able to use its original power. That's why he asks Basak about it, and says that is it related to Austin Griffin. So we see that he was very upset thinking about it, and says that now we can't do anything to stop it. And the biggest thing is that, how did this happen? Then we see that the Demon Emperor also starts asking Basak about it, and then he asks him that did you find out anything about Austin Griffin? And then Basak says that I was not here for a while because I was using the Great Prophecy to spy on Austin Griffin. But then we see that after hearing about it, the Moon Demon God also starts getting very upset and says that to use the Great Prophecy technique, you have to use the Demon Clan's 100 yuan, and the biggest thing about it is that if its target is the Demon Policeman God, then you have to pay such a price for it that you can't even imagine. Then he finds out that Basak has less than 100 yen age left, and that's why he was very surprised to know about it. But then we see that Basak starts showing off his power, and says that I am ready to do anything to save the Star Demon Clan, and I am lucky that I consumed my power for it. It is actually the guidance of the star. After which we see that the Demon Emperor also sees the same Long Hao-Chen. Seeing this, the Demon Emperor was also surprised by this, and says that he is the minister of Long Hao-Chen. But then we see that Basak had consumed a lot of his power to find out about it, and then he says to the Demon Emperor that the decision he had taken at that time, this is happening with us today only because of him. But then we see that the Demon Emperor himself is also upset, and that's why he doesn't say anything about it. Then Basak says to him that this time we have received the previous guidance. How will we decide about it now? But there is no answer to this in the past of the Demon Emperor. That's why we see that he doesn't say anything about it. And then he uses his power to stop the power of Basak. But then we see that Basak and the Moon Demon God were also unable to understand anything about it, and that's why they start looking at each other's faces. But then we see that the Demon Emperor is also very angry about this, and says that whoever has a connection with Austin Griffin, he is the enemy of our demon clan. Then he says to the Moon Demon God, and agrees that you collect all the demon elite, because now the Holy War is about to begin. After which we see that the Demon Emperor was also ready for it. After which we see the Long Hao-Chen in the next scene, where the Care was very worried about it. That's why he immediately runs and hugs Long Hao-Chen. Then he is sad, and says that it's good that nothing happened to you. Now we see that the Long Hao-Chen was also happy about it, and he also hugs him immediately. Then he says to the Long Hao-Chen that nothing has happened to me, and I am completely fine. But then we see that all the demons come here, and they were all very worried about the Long Hauchen. Now we see that the Long Hauchen says that I apologize to put you all in worry. But then, the Lin Chen starts looking at the Long Hauchen from all sides, and he says that, Captain, let me see properly. After which we see that the Haiyan was also very worried, and he says that you were in great danger at that time. But even after that, you destroyed the demon pillar, and that's why I want to know how you did this. But then, we see that the Long Hauchen himself is also very surprised by this, and then he starts trying to remember about it. Then he says that actually I don't know anything about it, but still that power seemed very familiar to me. Then we see that he tries to how you ask about it, and he says that, when you and I were going towards the demon pillar, did you see a mysterious man there? But we see that he was also very surprised by this, and then he starts looking only at the Long Hauchen, but we see that the Long Hauchen was also very surprised by this, and he says that, do you mean that I was the one who led you to destroy the demon pillar? Then he says that, this is very strange, because even Hu did not see anything about it. Then Chen also says that, we also saw you, where you were fighting very bravely, and you handled the snake demon and its demon pillar very easily. Then Linson says that this has happened for the first time in history, because no one has ever been able to destroy a demon pillar, but today, you did it. Then we see that Ongyan is also very happy with this, and she says that this means that the demon is no longer invisible. Haiyan also says that, due to this, the pattern between the demon and the human will completely change, after which Simation says that you are really a hero. But then we see that Dali and Ongyu also came here, who were very happy to see them in good condition, and he says that you did a great job. But we see that they don't take much time here, and they immediately return to the Sedan clan, where we see that the rest of the people were also very happy, and they welcomed them in a very wonderful way. After this, in the next scene, we see that everyone was ready and came here, because now there was going to be a ceremony here, and that's why everyone is very excited about it. Then we see that the messenger also comes in front of them, and he has a king crown in his hand. Now everyone is very happy to see this, and we see that Dali and Ongyu are going to be king and queen here, and that's why everyone here welcomes them. At the same time, we see that Dali and Ongyu were also ready for it. That's why as soon as he comes in front of his people, everyone starts greeting him. At the same time, we see that the messenger was also ready for it, and she is ready to make Dali and Ongyu king and queen, so its next part will be uploaded soon. So if you like the explanation, then like the video, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.